Hello everybody, it's the Historical Gamer once again, and today we're returning to Strategic Command World War II, World at War, after a little bit of a hiatus. It's been a little while since I've been playing this game. I know the last recorded episode went up a few days ago, and I haven't actually touched this game in probably about a month. I've been playing a lot of Rule the Waves, War in the Pacific, and some other things going on. So we are returning to this game. It is December 14th, 1945. Our initial invasion of England has failed. We are going to launch a second invasion, but I think I'm going to wait for the spring of 1946. My understanding is the game goes till 47, into the spring of 47, so we have about a year left in the game. But my intention is to launch an invasion of England in the spring of 46, mainly because in the spring the weather should clear enough to allow our bombers to start hitting targets more effectively. Right now it's just too hit or miss. I might take a port like Southampton and hang on to it for a few days, but not really enough to make a big impact. So we're going to start building up our forces in sort of the port areas of France in amphibious assault craft, so they can make quick landings. We have research level 1 amphibious assault craft, so that should help. But we need to have a few more than just 1 or 2 to have a successful landing of England, and that's our objective. You can see here some of our casualties from that last invasion did cause our frontline units to be thinned out a bit. We'll consider a winter offensive into Spain in an effort to overrun the Spanish peninsula, but all that really does is, not peninsula, I guess. Is the Iberia, is this a peninsula? Technically, it's covered by water on 3 sides, but it seems a little large for one. In any event, I don't really want to open another front because that just leaves all this additional coastline to defend against Allied invasions. So we'll probably shy away from that. Meanwhile, in India, India's about to fall. India's going to fall to us this turn. We've taken Delhi, and what I've been informed of is that we are actually going to be without supply for our German units in India as soon as this country falls to us. That's going to be a bit of a problem. I didn't realize that initially. I thought it would be split, or at least we'd have supply in our friendly allied territory, but apparently not, so that's something to be aware of. Additionally, we are going to start preparing for an invasion of Australia, so we brought a bunch of troops back to Japan in an effort to make sure the Americans couldn't successfully invade Japan, and I think we've succeeded in that. But now with the fall of India, my intention is going to be mobilize some of these troops along the port facilities and then get them ready for an invasion of Australia in an effort to crush the Australian resistance. We have actually already invaded Australia for what it's worth. We just haven't really gotten too far. I mean, we've got a couple of units here on the northern coast, but we really lack sufficient headquarters units down there to be able to drive on the capital all the way down here in Canberra, and then also Melbourne, which is the alternate capital. So that's a lot of distance for us to cover, and there's a lot of American units in Australia as well. So just something we need to be mindful of. With that being said, I think that's going to do it for the beginning of this episode. We really do need to kind of progress in the turn, and so we'll go ahead and end the turn and let the AI run its turn, and we'll see. I'm assuming India fall to us this turn. UK morale suffers from the loss of Delhi. Partisan activity in Manchuria, so some supply units getting destroyed there. Axis military hinders activity on Crete. Axis raiders disrupt British merchant shipping near Bristol. So you can see we have a submarine there on the adjacent hex. Allied raiders are disrupting convoys to the Dutch East Indies. We're developing long-range aircraft level 2. That'll help on our invasion 2.0 of England. Japan's developing anti-submarine warfare technology, which is great. We get a bunch of money. India didn't actually fall? I thought India fell. I could have sworn India surrendered. But I guess not. We took Delhi. What's up with that? Oh, I forgot about our invasion in North Africa as well. Well, I guess that's good in the sense that it gives me some time to pull some of our German troops back a bit. I could have sworn India surrendered to us. Whatever. It is what it is. Meanwhile, you can see the Romanian forces there in England getting hit by the Allies. More American warships showing up off the coast of Japan. So far, we've yet to see any landing forces, though. Just a lot of American destroyers and ships. So maybe the threat to Japan isn't over yet, though, because a couple of destroyers just rolled in. Meanwhile, I had these mechanized troops on transports. I moved them back ashore in Antwerp, mainly because I didn't want to risk them getting destroyed in port for no gain. I know they won't be destroyed if they're not in a port. Okay, so the usual Allied air raids against us here. Anti-aircraft fire actually helped. Wow, they destroyed 4 of the 5. Yikes. Allied strategic bombers are strong at this time, even with anti-aircraft defensive fire against them. Okay. The fortunate thing is they're not really hitting anything in the core of Germany. They're really hitting mostly targets in France. That one target in Norway, but whatever. France and the Low Countries, that is. And our intercept... The Americans now apparently have jet fighters, by the way. It looked like there was an ME-262 there providing escort. Oh, Jesus! British swing-wing bombers? What the fuck is this bullshit? Yikes. Well, we need to upgrade those aircraft pronto, because we've got some fighters here that are that are not ME-262s here. The British have definitely developed the next level of technology, though, for their fighter aircraft. Okay, lots of bombing going on. It's weird that all this bombing is going on when you consider the weather really isn't susceptible to these kind of strikes. But it looks like the Romanians there in the southwestern corner of England are gone. Well, they had no supply to begin with, so that's not a shock. But that's another example of why we need a slightly more robust invasion plan of England. Meanwhile, I don't understand this. I thought India fell. Delhi fell. India should have surrendered. Is this another one of those, like, oh, they have too many units left to actually surrender to you type deals? Because fuck that bullshit. Japan still doesn't have jet fighters, by the way. Lame. They've also moved some of their troops into Kathmandu in Tibet. Is that the right way to pronounce it? Kathmandu? It's a fun word to say, if that's how you properly pronounce it. Okay, partisan activity in Manchuria. Axis hinders supply on Crete. And that'll do it for the Allied turn. So we are ready to roll in our turn. Here as we enter 1946. We lost a sub, apparently. I didn't remember seeing that. Meanwhile, Italy got a destroyer. Huzzah for that. Oh boy. Italian motor torpedo boats intercepted by British destroyers. Our air units are socked in by weather. Meanwhile, Tripoli will be retaken by the Germans as they advance through North Africa. Advance! Ah, shit. Alright, so we double-quicked them out that way. Reinforce these guys. Alright, so we've reached Tunis. We can't attack anything there yet this turn, but we've reached the large number of Allied air units here in Tunis, and we're going to try and liberate Tunis for the Axis powers. Meanwhile, as we advance into the heart of British Africa, we're... can we reinforce those guys? No, we can't. We need to keep our headquarters units up. We won't be able to have much in the way of supply if we don't. But our tanks are going to attack Khartoum. They won't succeed in knocking Khartoum out this turn. We'll withdraw them 1 hex back to pick up a little bit more supply. Hopefully we can take Khartoum and cause Sudan to capitulate to us this next turn. We'll leave the garrison in Cairo. We'll also move this garrison to Alexandria to prevent from an amphibious assault. Meanwhile, all of these guys need to move to various ports and facilities here. The Germans, I think, probably should start pulling out of India rather than driving further into it. Can we attack this American headquarter unit and then kind of fall back toward the border? I'm just assuming that India is going to surrender in the next turn or two. This unit there. Attack that para unit. Meanwhile, Lang Kao is going to get attacked from 3 sides from these Japanese troops here in India. It'll get destroyed. Advance these guys this way. Attack with a headquarters unit there. Bomb these guys with air. Did we destroy all their air units, by the way? I don't see anything. Okay. So we destroyed their headquarters unit there. Move this guy in here. Can we bomb them from here? I don't have the range, do I? Strat bomb? Is there any chance they'll destroy them or just hit their supply? Yeah, just the supply. Alright, none of these guys can move to withdraw. Alright, we'll do that. We'll take Lahore for the Japanese. And all the Germans will move to flank these guys. The Italians will move in here. Cut these guys off at Multan. You know, I'm gonna try and... Can I operate them? No. Try and slowly pull these guys back. Can these guys... Alright, these guys can go here. Wow, my strategic bombers can reach a long ways. Japanese headquarters unit will move to Delhi. The other one will move over here. These guys will move to Jodhpur. German headquarters unit needs to move west. Starting to fall back out of India. That's a lot of casualties I just took. Did I have these guys? There was another strategic bomber unit. They can't fly that far. Alright, so I really thought they would have surrendered by now. Attack at Hyderabad with the Germans. Pull back to Bombay. You know, these British units here, or these Australian units at Visdapam, are dug in. Okay. Alright, these guys need to attack at Kathmandu. Swap with this army unit here. Almost finished them off. Should finish Kathmandu next turn. Okay. Alright, so we're advancing down the southern tip of India. Kind of started to try and pull some of our German units back. Advancing on Khartoum in Africa. North Africa, we're advancing on Tunis with the Germans there. Meanwhile, in Europe, it's a rainy day in Northern Europe. So, yes, there's that. Can we actually upgrade these guys? To what? Oh, long-range aircraft level 2. We should probably do that, huh? We now have long-range aircraft 2 for Germany. So we should do that for all of our aircraft. Some of our guys have elite reinforcements already, but some of them do not. And the long-range aircraft level 2 will help us project power over England and the British Isles in the event of another landing or invasion of the British Isles. So we'll do that. It's only 15 MPPs too. So that's good. Weather shouldn't matter for these guys, right? Boom! We'll use our rockets there against them. I don't really know what good that'll... I mean, I don't know what I was bombing, but... Alright, so upgrade these fighters. They're currently level 4, so they'll become jets, and they'll get range 2. These guys are only level 2 fighters. Wow, how did they survive that long? These guys are level 1 bombers. And, yeah, I think that does it for the air units. Oh, nope, these guys need their level 2 aircraft. Is there anybody else I forgot? I don't think so. Alright, I'd rather a long-range amphibious transport. I don't think I have any more of those. Do I just have the one? That's lame. Well, we're going to wait to put anything else on transports at the moment. Oh, the sub up here near the Georges Channel is what was destroyed. Oh my god, enemy contact! Shit. Yeah, pull that sub back out. Hit that battleship. My motor torpedo boats cannot go that far. The sub can, though. Can he? He can, too. Boom! We're gonna damage the Royal Navy. The renowned battle cruiser took 6 losses. Alright. Ground units... Paratroopers need to upgrade. Ooh, they get long-range aircraft too, so that's nice. Should probably move them away from the coast too. Just because that'll probably be useful, I think. I wish there was like an auto upgrade option for some of these things. You know, the Italian army units do have level 2 infantry weapons now. That'll be very useful. Now that they're actually an effective fighting force, level 2 infantry weapons are basically the furthest we've gotten with our technology at this point, so that's should be useful. What about Norway? Did we forget anything up there? Are we still fighting up there? Enemy contact. Alright. I really need more troops up in Norway. I need like a headquarters unit or... something so I can finally finish off those bad guys. I do have some garrisons in Russia still. I've been kind of told that's silly to do. It's kind of a waste of forces. I don't actually have that many troops still over there, though. I don't think it's likely that they would... I don't think it's likely that they would attack us in Danzig. But I can't get to Norway easily either. I mean, I can rail here. Bring that core out that way. Meanwhile, we already did Africa. We already did India. I think we had another headquarters unit coming south. I can't remember. We need to reinforce the aircraft here in this unit. Okay, so that carrier's up to 100%. Meanwhile, there is an American destroyer over here. It's snowing. Ah! Knock that American destroyer out. Get him. Oh, shit. American battleships. Yikes. Alright. Let's finish off this enemy destroyer. We should probably recon. Oh, shit. Oh, shit. What am I doing? More American battleships. Okay. Well, you're doing good work, destroyers. You're finding out where the enemy is. You cruiser can finish that destroyer off. Where are we at, by the way, with the American fleet? What's their strength? They're at 30 units. Okay, you sail over here. God, I was hoping you'd finish him off. I was trying to avoid using as many battleships as I could, so I could have the destroyers do some more reconnaissance. Looks like that's all we got, though, these 2 American battleships. So what we're going to do is we're going to sail these carriers out this way. And then we're going to go carrier hunting. Oh, escorts! American carriers are being American escort carriers anyway, are in the vicinity. Okay, so that battleship should be a... Let's go find out if there's more enemy ships around here. Alright, doesn't look like it, so our destroyers will go for a torpedo strike. Alright, that carrier's battle... Yikes, their air wing was chewed up. This carrier air wing will hit this battleship and do quite a bit of damage to it before finishing it off. And... oh shit, I had escort. Ah! My air wing was set to combat air patrol, not to actually bomb, or not to actually kill them. In any event, we got them. So we do need to pull some units back. They didn't take any damage. These guys definitely did. So did these guys, but none of the guys who suffered damage can get back into port. Oh shit, I forgot. There's another American carrier out that way. Let's move you over here. We're gonna finish off the American carrier. An escort carrier goes down. Alright, so we got the escort carrier. And 2 battleships. And 2 destroyers. So that drops the American fleet to 26 units. Meanwhile, we have up to 5 long-range transports. Why are they going there? What? That is not where I would have imagined you would go. Alright, well, we're building out an amphibious invasion fleet. That is not going where I thought they would go, in any event. They should be relatively safe there. Right, you go back to Osaka, so that's 2 ground units and a headquarters unit. Probably 1 more ground unit for sure is what we want. And then these guys can cruise down with 4 units toward Australia. Maybe a 2nd headquarters unit is ideal. I don't know. Let's swap you out to Tokyo. We'll leave some troops in Australia or in Japan just in case the Americans get a little bit antsy. Didn't we have one other carrier? Yeah, we did. Alright, we need to reinforce. At least the carrier air wing can be reinforced from here. So they're back up to 10. Oh, we have another... Is this a headquarters unit? Long-range amphibious transport here. Can't really see... This is a headquarters unit that I'm intending to move to Australia, but I'm kind of hopping it from port to port because I can't really see if there are enemy submarines here. There's reportedly enemy submarines along the supply line, but I don't really know for sure. We'll take Normanton and Australia. So the northern coast of Australia is starting to fall to us, slowly, with that small force that we have. What do these guys supply? They're supply 0, so if the Allies counterattack them, they're screwed. But hopefully taking Normanton will generate some supply. It's not a port facility, but it is, well, it's not located by rail. So that's the issue. We only have rail lines between Darwin all the way up to Daly Waters. Ah! Alright, so I'm trying to run these guys down here as a reconnaissance to see what other naval assets might be in the area. We've got the 1 heavy cruiser. We know there is 1 American amphibious transport, so we're going to hit them with maritime bombers. Apparently didn't do a lot of damage. Kamikazes finished them off. Alright. Oh no! There you go! All the kamikazes are gone. I guess that is a fitting way for kamikazes to be treated. The unit goes away. In any event, we destroyed an American army unit that was on transports. Okay, we'll do some recon out this way. Nothing spotted over that way. Okay, don't we have another sub out this way? Sub's trying to do a little bit of recon, but the Pacific's so goddamn big. It's going to be a little bit challenging. Alright, these guys can move next turn. It's winter, by the way. Meanwhile, these guys are already moved. So I think that's going to about wrap it up for January 46. Not a ton of activity in Northern Europe. We did do a little bit of submarine action against the British battlecruiser Renown, with a bunch of subs along the supply lines now. We're going to need to get some more... I mean, we need better weather in Europe to launch an invasion of England, but at the very least we got some of our air units upgraded to level 2 long-range aircraft, which should help. Meanwhile, the invasion of Peru is continuing. Headquarters units trying to keep up with the army unit that just moved in and took Puno. Bolivia's still neutral at the moment. Paraguay's neutral. Brazil's already ours. Chile's already ours. So hopefully we can knock Peru out of the war here before too long, unless the Americans get interested and start sending troops to South America, which I'm assuming there's a trigger that'll do that, but not yet. Yeah, so that's the situation at the moment. We'll see how things play out in our next episode. I think that's about a good length for this episode. We're driving in the territory in northern Africa into Tunis, and we're driving into eastern Africa toward Khartoum, and we're also hoping to finish off India here. I thought they would have surrendered already, but they haven't, so we'll see how this plays out. However, guys, I am going to go ahead and wrap this episode up here. Until next time, this is the Historical Gamer saying thank you for watching, and I'm out.